had come up with that explains a little bit about who we are, what we do, why beta testing. And I think it's important that, because I think Peter's done a pretty good job in capturing all the elements of it. So this is a little bit of what the sales page, so this technically is what people are going to be seeing, candidates, when they click on, however they get to this advertisement, they want to know something about, who is this company that's running this beta testing program, what is their mission, what are they all about, why do they need beta testers, and tell me about this beta testing program. So this is an overview of that, and we'll get a little bit more into the nuts and bolts of it, but at least you get some idea of how we're positioning Global Business and Marketing Solutions. Go ahead, Rob. Okay, so once the candidate comes in, we have, of course, our promise. So this is what we are promising them. If they were to enter our beta testing program, there are certain benefits that they would be getting beyond, of course, the $100. And I think it's important that we understand exactly what we're promising and what we're putting in our collateral materials. So I just want to review that just for a moment, because obviously it's all about delivering on our promise. So Rob, do you have those slides?
Which ones? The ones that from the presentation?
Yeah. Sure.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm. Actually, one of the slides was from the Deborah presentation and the Atlanta presentation that we were putting together for the originally for the call center.
Okay. So tell me.
Yeah. So pull that up first. This is going to be second, but if you can pull up the other slides first that Elena had come up with.
One second.
Mm-hmm.
Is this what you're talking about?
Okay. Yeah, there were certain slides that talked about the benefits.
Oh, the benefit slides. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have the benefit slides.
Okay. Okay, so Experience to High Commissions program, you'll receive additional support. So it's all about that you're going to get coaching from the coaching from the MTTB program. Okay, so you not only get coaching from GBMS, you'll also get coaching from the MTTB program. Obviously, you'll receive $100. You'll also be part of an affiliate community. Go ahead. Okay, you'll know more than 98% of the other marketers out there once you complete the beta tasting requirements. You'll be working with some of the most talented and motivated marketers in the industry who will work closely to help you get started on the online marketing industry. Okay, free access to resources and tools. And then for those top 20% who do not want to own their online business, there may be job opportunities. So we think it's pretty compelling. Those of you that have gone through or are going through as beta testers obviously have felt this was compelling enough to decide to go forward with the testing program. Just want to make sure, since the collateral materials are evolving as we speak, just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page, and this is really talking about, what our promise is to them. their promise to us and what their understanding is. Rob, if you could just pull up those Prezi slides. And this was taken from a recent orientation that we had for the beta testers. Some of you may or may not have been part of it, but this is this is what's been taken from the presentation. So it's important that the beta testers know that they're really wearing two hats. They're a consultant that is providing information and reviewing this top-tier program, and they also have a hat as a potential business owner, evaluating this, for themselves. So everything that they provide, or everything that they're looking at, they should be looking through this lens. So this way, the reviews that come back to you on the steps may focus a little bit more specifically with a view that would be meaningful to us and to them. So this will help us kind of hone in on the program and the role that they play, is to really review this as wearing two hats. Okay, so you are our consultant. You'll be going through step-by-step marketing education program. Provide us with feedback. And of course, your feedback we use to help us improve this program so you could serve future customers more effectively. Okay, and this is the expectations that we are saying that as far as communications to and from the beta testers, they'll be filling out surveys, providing them to us. After they complete each step, there's a final testimonial that will be videoed, and then there will be group meetings at strategic steps in the process. And again, this is all the strategic steps is all being evolved as we speak, and based on the reviews, we'll determine when we feel that there needs to be kind of this, maybe a group webinar to discuss that specific step, because everybody will have the same questions. So we might as well field those questions at the same time. And it's also about managing expectations, because their communication is with the M.O.B.E coach, and the M.O.B.E coach is going to be introducing different things at different times. So it's important, certainly in the beginning, that the coaches manage their expectations and know that there will be offers and expectations that the M.O.B.E coach will be providing, and they shouldn't feel compelled to have to respond, and they should also know that this is something that's going to be coming up, and they won't be blindsided that, hey, this may be a scam, or they just wanted me to be a beta tester to introduce them to this program. So it's not about that, and for people to understand that, if you set that expectation from the beginning, then they will never leave with that, or they would never leave with that as their takeaway, and that's the important thing. Okay, Rob. Next slide, please.
What's next? Hold on for a second.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think we're still on the BT program. So jump back a little bit. Okay, and do you have the slide on the pre-MTDB signing? The funnel?
Pulling it up.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, we will become experts at this. So just bear with us as we go through the learning process. If there's any questions so far, please throw that in the box so we can address them. Okay, so this is the beta testing funnel. So whatever, we have several ideas and strategies on how to approach this and how to bring people to the beta testing program opportunity. And, it's a number of ways. We don't have to get into that today. But basically, they're going to be coming to this squeeze page where everything is going to be presented in a way that, will be compelling, we hope, for people to move on. And it's kind of a sales tool to talk about what the benefits are to the beta tester if they were to accept and get into this program. Most of you have seen that already. Again, just trying to give you a visual of how this is going to work, because it's been modified a little bit. Okay, so then the autoresponder will take you to the thank you page for, of course, wanting to hear more about it. It will go further into the beta testing program. There is a video. We felt it was important because there were so many people that were on the phones talking to potential beta testers, and each one were trying to describe it in a certain way. The conversations we found were very, very lengthy, anywhere between a half hour to an hour. And in order to make that process a little bit more uniform and to display it in a way that makes sense, we thought it would be wise to put together a video, and Deborah and Lena and Rob Tepper were very instrumental in putting together a video that really takes them from beginning to end. What is the beta testing program? What is the process? How are we getting involved? How are you getting involved? Again, all trying to manage their expectations on what the program is, who we are, what we expect from you, how we'll be participating with you. And Deborah did a great job, and Deborah's is being modified just a little bit to add a few things in the beginning, talking about GBMS, and that will be part of our presentation that the people who will be answering the ad will be able to get up front. So then this way those questions will have been answered, and if then they are still interested, then there would be a link to a beta tester application. Much of the beta tester application you've already seen already. It is being modified. A lot of, or some of the coaches out there have given us indications that they would like either additional questions on there to help profile the right person or modify the existing questions. So we are working on finalizing that, and once that is completed, then that will be submitted to a thank you page, and if they meet certain criteria, then they will be noted that they have pre-qualified for the program. And this is an important change because there is so much difficulty with trying to reach some of these people, and because some of the people have, really did not have a Skype account, and some of the people had, just different skill sets as far as using the computer and using the software. We felt that it was important that this way they would go directly to a place where they would need to be setting up themselves with the coach a follow-up interview. So they would have gone through the beta testing application process. They would be pre-qualified based on certain criteria, and at that point they would get that notification that you then need to set up an appointment with your coach in order to go through an interview process, and that would then go to, the notification would go to the coach, and the coach would review the application. Of course, they would have now set up a Skype account, set up an appointment. We'll talk about how people are setting up appointments. A lot of people are doing that already, but it's in order to to have the beta tester be proactive if they're interested in getting involved in the program, rather than leaving it to us to contact them within 24 to 48 hours. We felt it was important that they reach out immediately, set up an appointment with their coach, and then this way they're committed at a certain day, a certain time. The coach understands who is booked for that time and would be able to review their application before that time, and then be able to ask appropriate questions to determine whether or not they meet the qualifications and standards that we have set to enter our beta testing program. So we're trying to automate this. We're trying to speed up the process. We're trying to get a better profile of the person that is likely to go through this beta testing program from beginning to end, and likely to want more information and to earn a living doing this online. So the questions are being geared towards that, having them do some proactive activity in order to gain access to the beta test program. These are all designed to get better qualified candidates to the program. Okay, next slide.
One moment.
Mm-hmm.
So we were here.
Okay. So now we're on the post-MTDB signing. So once they sign up for the program, there will be an orientation. Some of you have gone through the orientation. We're formalizing that as part of the process. So people will be introduced to that as they come in. We did find that people had kind of started the program without really having a general overview of how this is all going to work specifically, and how the coaches are going to be communicating with them, and reviewing the forms or the surveys, just reorienting them to how this is all going to work. We felt was important. We did have an orientation last week for some of the candidates, and anybody who's entering from this point forward will go through this formal orientation, which I think is pretty solid and certainly sets the expectations going forward. Once they go through the orientation, then of course they'll be submitting their surveys. It's important that the coaches review their surveys, certainly are proactive if they're seeing that they're not getting surveys. If there's anything listed in the surveys I would expect of any concern, I would expect that the coaches would be contacting the beta tester in order to review their concerns, hopefully alleviate their concerns, and at certain points we will have a webinar, like I had mentioned before, where there will be kind of a group meeting. Everybody that gets to, let's say, step 6 will have a group meeting where the expectations will be laid out in a little bit of a different way of what they're going to be going through and what the M.O.B.E coach is going to be presenting. So, and then later on in the program, there's a point, I believe it's step 15, where there's a business planning section where the M.O.B.E coach is asking you to go through a business planning process. I think that's an important part for us to get involved. I'm going to ask the coaches to speak to whoever their team leader is to get them involved in that. I think that's a very, very important process that needs to be done correctly. We'll be meeting with the team leaders to discuss kind of a format for that process, just so everybody's kind of going through that in the same way. And once they complete the steps, then of course there will be this video testimonial. Alina and I are going through the questions that we would like the candidates to be answering during their testimonial. We think that there are certain areas that would be important to cover, such as questions relating to the M.O.B.E program, questions relating to their experience with the M.O.B.E coach, questions that relate to their experience in the beta testing program in general and with their coach. I think that's important that the coaches get feedback. So we will be distributing that outline, and I think we'll make for a little bit more of a meaningful testimonial for people to be able to evaluate this testing program, before they to decide whether or not they want to proceed. Not only will the original video, discuss the process when they come into the ad, but it'll also have testimonials so people get an understanding of, from the beta tester perspective on, what their experience was like. The other piece is on the post-21 steps is extremely important, and that is that there will be kind of an interview process with the team leader and with management and with that beta tester to discuss which track that they would like to proceed on. The tracks are as follows, and we had talked about this, but reviewing it again I think is really important. So the beta tester that's gone through this program will either be somebody that wanted the education and will be applying it to their own business, and that's that candidate, the profile of that candidate. The next candidate will be somebody that does want to have a career in online marketing, and either they would want to have a business of their own, and there'll be business ownership, and they have the means to do that, or they want business ownership and they don't have the means, and then we would give them an opportunity and put together a program that matches what their expectations are and when they would want to be the business owner and buy into the M.O.B.E program. And that program is being evaluated right now and being finalized. But again, it's important that this handshake, this meeting take place. We want to make sure that they're pursuing the track that makes sense to them and that we meet their needs where that's concerned. They may say that I want to be a business owner in 90 days, 6 months, a year. Each one of these timetables, we will have a program that will allow them to meet that goal, if they, of course, follow certain steps that we'll be laying out. And once the steps are laid out, then it will be up to the coach to make sure that they continue on that track. The coaches, the expectations that we would have of the coaches, that there would be, at the very least, a one-on-one weekly meeting with them where they'll be able to gauge the progress. Obviously, this is somewhat new, so management will be involved with the coaches and the team leaders to help facilitate this in the beginning. But that meeting, at the end of the 21 steps, is critically important that people are on the right track and that everybody's on the same page. And then, of course, the third profile is somebody that enjoys online marketing or wants to learn about online marketing, but really has no intentions of working on their own, having their own responsibility. They're typically a low-risk taker. They just really want to supplement their income, or if they don't have an income, they're looking for an income, and our organization would have openings and opportunities for those candidates that we feel meet certain criteria. So again, that process at the end of the steps is extremely important, and we'll spend a lot more time on that with the coaches and the team leaders. Mr. Tepper. Okay. Roles and responsibilities. A lot of people have been asking about this, and I felt that it was important that we all get on the same page and it's kind of standardized. So for the candidates, obviously the expectation is going to be regular communication. We've talked about what that looks like. We talked about the review of tracks. Everything about this piece specifically, I think that we've hit on. The only other thing that I would probably add is that at the very least there needs to be a weekly communication with them. I suggest having a certain day at a certain time that's on your schedule for that. So then this way Everybody has an expectation. They know they're going to be meeting with their coach at the very least once a week to review where they are, but certainly there's no reason to wait for that. If you see that the reviews are coming in, or the surveys are coming in a pace that you think would make sense to have a meeting before then absolutely, we'll leave that up to your judgment. But at the very least, we do expect that there'll be a weekly communication with them. It's very important that they feel that there is coaching and we're supporting them during this process, and that they're not alone going through this beta testing, but they're working with somebody to assist them. The responsibility that the coaches have to the co-op, I think, is extremely important. The evaluation of the reviews, I think it's really critical that you read them. Obviously, if there's something to talk about, with the candidate at a certain level, you would want to do that. But there may be some issues that are alarming that, let's say, reach the next level, and you would want to speak to the team leader in order for the team leader to get on the phone, because the last thing we want to do is have them proceed, or have them, or certainly worst case scenario is have them stop going through the beta testing program because there's something that they're seeing or hearing that is not comfortable for them. So I would expect that you would reach out and try to nip that in the bud and not let those issues fester. So that, regular evaluation of the reviews as they come in, I think, is extremely important. For those people that are also, coaches and lead generators, then it's all about list management. So we started to go through, specifically with Charlie and with Cindy and some of the others, what that looks like. Obviously, it's very, very important that we're on the same page. You're going to be assigned a list of people, candidates that you would need to reach out to. We're also, developing a process to be able to have coaches abroad in different countries. So this way, the beta testers can speak with those coaches that speak their language. Alina had brought that up as a critical piece that would make that beta tester feel more comfortable, and I thought it was a great idea. Actually, I did hear that also from some of the other coaches, so Alina is helping with the list management in order to tag everybody that with the candidates and whoever the coaches are, that speak that language. But as far as just list management in general, Alina and I will be working very regularly on assigning the leads to the specific lead generator / coach, and we will have, of course, one-on-ones that everybody's experiencing now to discuss the leads, discuss the progress, discuss the activity, and most importantly, to discuss the objections that you're hearing on the phone, because you are going to get people that after they hear or see the program or during the interview process that are not feeling comfortable about moving forward. Some of the reasons we can't control, but to the extent that some of them we can control, it's really important that I know what those issues are, but certainly the team leader knows what those issues are, so we could modify the video, we could modify the interview process, whatever we need to do in order to make them feel more comfortable and address the issues that we're hearing. And that is about collecting objections. So I'm going to ask you, everybody, to please make sure that you capture the objections and you communicate those objections in a meaningful way so we can address those in a very proactive manner. That's the list management. We'll spend a lot more time on that in our one-on-ones. Just want to reach out and mention that. The providing of statistics is something that is critically important. Nobody is really being asked, at least in a very specific way, to provide critical statistics that will give us an understanding of what's working and what's not working. So we may ask, okay, well, there's a certain amount of leads that have been given to you. How many of those clicks were people were interested in the program? How many of those people were not interested in the program? How many of those people were interested but didn't sign up? and so on and so forth. I can go through. There's a lot of metrics that we will be analyzing, and Rob Tepper will be sending out a form that the coaches will be filling out on a weekly basis in order to give us that critical data so we could tabulate it and really get a top-level view on what's working and what's not working. So that is yet to come. I know that Boyan and Rob are working on that, so expect that to be coming out very, very soon. Last thing on this is candidate review. At the completion, determine appropriate tracks. We've spoken about that. I just wanted to list that these are the expectations that we have for the coaches on a very regular basis and at key strategic points in order to do these things. Okay, Rob? Next. Okay, tools. Everybody seems to be using their own tools. I am not a stickler on, having to use specific tools. Everybody's comfortable with different things that they've been using. But I think what's most important is that everybody has a tool for scheduling. Now, when I say tools for scheduling, I'm talking about for those candidates that are interested, they will be in a very proactive way going to or being instructed to go to your schedule and to book an appointment with you. So for anybody who isn't familiar with the scheduling software, please let your coach or team leader know about it, and they will introduce and get you moving on that. I also think it's important that people that are lead generators use a schedule to, actually not just lead generators, but all coaches. I think it's important that all your one-on-ones are booked in a master schedule. Any proactive activity that you need to do is in a master schedule. I discussed yesterday with Charlie using Google Calendar. That's something that Rob and I use on a regular basis. And this way you get, you have an overview of what you're doing. You can also plan. I'm very big into having your to-do list and making sure that you plan certain blocks in the day to do any of your strategic work. And then, of course, you have blocks in there set for one-on-one coaching appointments. But it's all laid out so this way when you get up in the morning or whenever you get up, it's all laid out there, so this way people are a little bit more organized. I'm just going to encourage you to do that. Certainly everybody is free to do whatever they want. I just have found during my one-on-ones that people haven't been using calendar and scheduling tools, and I think it's critically important for all the reasons I mentioned. So we talked about calendar, and as far as the list management goes, Google Docs and some of the other things that we've been using, I think is important to, some of you have a different skill level in each one of these tools, and I think it's important that everybody try to get on the same page, and I encourage you to speak to your team leader in order to accomplish that. Mr. Tepper. Next slide, please.
Sorry, I was talking, but I was also muted. I just also wanted to say that we will do regular trainings on these types of tools. So if there's any in particular that any of you would like to have training on, let us know, and we'll prioritize some of our future trainings that way. But we'll do, we'll try to cover a lot of different areas during the course of the next few months, but we want to start with things that are the highest priority. I know everybody wants to learn about generating traffic. That's obviously a high priority, and there's 50 different ways to do that, so we'll be covering those. But when it comes to tools or processes or anything else that you want training on, please speak to your coach or to one of us so we can put it on the calendar.
Okay. Everybody has been asking about the payment process, timetable, and what have you. This is my understanding, but Rob Tepper, certainly chime in if I'm not giving accurate information. But my understanding is the following: the way the payment process works is that once there is a sale, so to speak, and is communicated in the back office. The way it works, the way Matt works, is if the sale comes in between the 1st and the 15th of the month, then you will be paid, then whoever you signed up under will be paid by the 30th of that month. Okay, so they do give a 15-day window, and then we in turn will be paying you within 24 to 48 hours. Okay, if the sale comes in, let's say on the 20th of the month, then that means that you will, or your leader will be getting paid by the 15th of the following month, and then you will be in turn paid, from us within 24 to 48 hours. So that is how it works. Rob, did I get that right?
I have to double unmute every time I speak. So yes, you got that right. Actually, we've been saying 72 just to allow for a 3-day window, but typically it will be 24 to 48.
By the way, Rob, just so you know, I don't have access to any of the questions that may be coming in. So if there are any, please, let me know. But I think at this point, since we're about
I've been monitoring the questions, but
okay.
I didn't start right away.
Okay,
and
that's fine. We could hold them to the end.
Most of the questions were about my heavy breathing at the beginning, because I'm using this headset, and I had the microphone right up to my mouth, and everybody could hear it except for me, so I apologize for that. Clinton and Ed and Steve and Jeff and everybody else, Deborah, a lot of people noticed. So, but I caught it without even seeing the comments, and then I started monitoring, and then I saw, oh my God. So, all right, so on to the next.
Okay, yep. Okay, a lot of people have been asking, kind of a who's who, and who do I contact for what? I think that's a great question, and it's very important that everybody's on the same page. To the extent that people like, excuse me one second. Okay, people like a Deborah, okay, who is an independent, or Bullion, or anybody who is running independently as part of the co-op. Obviously, as far as who's responsible for certain things, they will make that determination. Ultimately, they're responsible for. But in general, my wife is calling me off the hook. Rob, can you talk about this just a little bit while I answer this? This must be an emergency. I'm so sorry.
Yep. Make sure I'm unmuted. Yes. You guys can hear me, right? Okay, so I can't tell for sure that you can hear me, but I'm unmuted on both sides, so you must be able to hear me. Yeah, so as Rob was saying, people that have their own business, people that are Platinum and M.O.B.E, are involved in the co-op, and we're working together, developing this together, and are excited to be all working together. As it stands right now, within this first phase that we're working on, we have 3 Platinums that have been in the co-op, and that's Deborah, Bullion, and me and Rob and Rob being a team. So the 3 of us, and everybody else who's involved are people that are associated with us in one way or another. And the 3 of us all agree on this beta testing approach as a great way to build our own businesses. When it comes right down to it, we all have our own businesses, but we are having this joint venture where we created the Supercharged affiliate community together, and we have the Brain Trust community. And for those of you who were with us a few months back, this all started out as the goal and the original business model that I came up with was to do a co-op for generating traffic to M.O.B.E. And it was only in the middle of December that we decided to use this beta testing program as a way not only to introduce people to M.O.B.E, but to build a bigger business, because M.O.B.E has some limitations. As you know, all of you that are here because there is a benefit to the approach that we're taking that allows you to make money without necessarily having the funds or even the desire to, put $30,000 into a business. But the truth is that, for some people, you would like to do that, and it's just not the right timing. And this model with the beta testing gives us an opportunity, as you've seen, to be very hands-on with people throughout the process and to help them, help you to all make money doing online marketing, working from home, having the independence, all of the goals that we all have together. And for some people, it will ultimately become your own M.O.B.E, your own business, which can be centered around M.O.B.E or around anything else. But with this group that we have with Deborah, Bojan, and myself being platinum, and then affiliates like Jeff and Dory who are working under us that have also been involved in a co-op to not only generate leads, but to use this beta testing program as a way to get more qualified people into the program and to help people in a way that M.O.B.E can't do on its own. And so that's what we're beta testing. That's what Rob, and Alina up here that you see on the screen are responsible for from our own platinum team in M.O.B.E and for the business that Rob mentioned that we have, the company that we're building. Each of you is welcome to do the same. In this model, we're inviting you to be part of our business and allowing you to make good money in the process while you're learning great marketing from one of the best companies out there, having grown from 0 to $20 million in 2 years and growing with the plan to grow to $50 million in the next 12 months. There's going to be some amazing things happening. So this is started out as a strategic way to build, to get people to take a look at the M.O.B.E business model, but also to build something much more around it that opens up the opportunity for a lot more people. Rob, I'm not sure if you're back, but it's a lot more than is on this slide. Are you back? Doesn't look like it. Let's move on.
Hello.
Oh, you're
Rob?
back.
Rob?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Fantastic.
Well, that was perfect timing. So I just finished this page, I think. Unless you want to say anything.
Yeah, hold on, just go back one. So did you address this as far as who's responsible for what?
In a different kind of a way. Go ahead
Okay.
if there's still more that you want to say on it.
Okay. So here, the key is, because people have been asking, okay, well, who do I go to for what? So we're trying to kind of delineate roles and responsibilities between us and, contracts, agreements, tech support, training. I am certainly not a marketing expert, but I'm helping to build out the organization, and I'll be responsible for, speaking to many of the coaches and talking about with them anybody who's involved in the lead generation and all the ad campaigns and the list management. That will be, for the most part, under me, and Alina is going to be working hand in hand with me on that. And as far as also Alina, not only helping me on that work, she's also having a senior role in kind of being the coach's coach. So there's a lot of coaches that are out there that are, had just gone through the beta testing program, or not necessarily, but are new to coaching. So Alina is very familiar with, what the expectations are and what some of the issues are that are heard from the beta testers that are candidates out there, or somebody that's going through the beta testing program itself. So I encourage you to reach out to Alina. She is a great resource. She is, I don't have to build her up. Everybody knows that she is a huge asset. So I'm going to say use her, but many of you already do. Go ahead, Mr. Tupper. Okay, extremely important. spending a lot of time and effort developing this program. Again, I appreciate everybody being so patient because we're trying to move at warp speed, trying to conduct our own business and also develop new business and business models and financial modeling and new contracts and new collateral and new website development. There's just so much going on at the same time, and I know that most of you understand that. But again, it's all about what does success look like. So let me step back for 1 second and give you a little bit of a peek into our strategy. So the strategy is that we have started this beta tester program for all the reasons that you already know. And it's all about, what does success look like? How can we evaluate whether we are successful at this program? Because we're certainly putting a lot of time and resources into this, as well as the coaches and the candidates. So everybody's putting a lot of time and effort into this. So I think it's important that everybody has an understanding of, what does success look like? Because everybody is playing a very, very key role into making that happen. So for the candidate, success is a great experience. So it's going through this process, feeling as though educationally they've learned a lot, feeling as though their experience of going through the beta testing program was smooth. Was also success would mean that they had a great and meaningful experience with their coach, and they felt that the coach really was assisting them through the process, to the extent where when they give the testimonial, they are giving very heartfelt evaluation of what this was all about to them. And I will tell you that the early testimonials that are coming in that have been shared with me have been extremely positive. I have been extremely proud of what I'm hearing, because people are saying that they have had a great experience, they have learned a lot, and they thank their coach and everything about that relationship in giving them a feeling like, what, this was very, very worth their while. As a matter of fact, not only was it worth the $100, but it was worth, 100 times that at a minimum. So that's what success looks like, is having a great experience enjoyed by the candidates. As far as the coaches go, success is where people are coming into the program, people are having a good experience, and of course they're upgrading. They feel that they want more. They feel that the license rights program is important for them. They do want to get involved. They do want to get involved in going titanium or platinum, and that's all about the candidates being happy. So if the candidates are happy, then they're a lot more likely to want to move on. Then of course the coaches see that they're moving on and they're making money in the process. So everything is working together all the time. So again, candidates' experience is positive, the coaches' experience will be positive, and the third part is that the people that are considering joining the co-op will see statistics and data that will be consistent with what we're experiencing. Because at the end of the day, we're going to be rolling this out, and we're looking at a 30-day to 45-day time period where we're kind of beta testing this whole program, beta testing the beta testing program. And what we hope to see is that the statistics that come out of this show that it is much more compelling to be part of this co-op than any other either co-op or really what they could do on their own if they were not part of the co-op. So it's not just that it's traffic, but it's also once people get in that our coaches and the experience that people have will make them much more likely to upgrade. So if we have data that will support that, then there are more people that join the co-op, and then there'll be more resources to put into more training, and we'll be able to have more value-added services that we provide people that are part of not just the co-op, but the larger brain trust community. So that's what success looks like. It all starts from the candidate's experience and moves up from there. So we should know the success of this at each point along the way, from the early reviews to the handshake at the end of the 21 steps, to keeping them on a track that meets their personal needs. And then if we do all of those things, then the numbers will speak for themselves. So this is what we'll be evaluating. Everything is very, very connected at all levels. Okay, next. Okay, so in closing, first and foremost, I want to thank everybody for attending. I want to welcome those new members as coaches or to be coaches. I want to also especially thank Rob Tepper, our fearless leader, because we certainly would not be here without him. And I will also say that there's a special thanks to all the people that have been part of this from the very beginning. I don't want to leave anybody out, but certainly Cindy, Charlie, Peter, Deborah, Alina, Rob, please help me. There's a lot more people who have been involved. Jeff, Ackerman, Clinton, just so many people that have helped us to not just realize what the holes are in the program and how we could help and support, but what this looks like, whether it's the orientation, the slide presentations, new ideas, you name it, we could not be here without you. So I thank you so much. And I encourage everybody to give us their critical feedback. We benefit tremendously from hearing not just, of course, what's working, but how we can improve it. So I ask you, please, to give us that feedback. I don't take anything personally. It's all in the best interest for making the program better. And that's what it's all about, and everybody having a great experience, but not just that. At the end of the day, we all want to be successful business owners and reach our potential and whatever our personal goals are. So, Rob, anything else you want to add to the closing before we open the floor?
I think you did a great job in addressing all of these issues, and no, I don't think that there's anything that you left out. I've been monitoring the question box, haven't seen things there. Let me take a look at the chat box, but now would be a time if anybody would like to ask any questions at all. We can unmute you. But thank you, Mr. Harris. And once again, we got this presentation together a little bit too much at the last minute, but we're learning. This time I learned that my microphone is really, really loud when I'm reading. Anybody have any questions? It does look like we've got no hands are raised right now.
Impossible.
Alina's hand is raised. That may be from a while back. Alina, would you like to be unmuted?
Actually, Alina, I would love. I don't know if you have any questions, but Alina, if you want to add anything, you have been so intimately involved in this. If there's anything that you would want to say, please, I open the floor to you.
You are unmuted.
I am. Great. I very much enjoyed this. A lot of information was covered. I'm glad that everyone's questions from the past are addressed. It definitely is much clearer now for everyone. What I'm getting from my Skype and the responses from people who are attending this meeting who are online with us, I'm very happy with the responses that I'm getting back. And well done, Rob. I think you need to change the mic. And that's it for now. Thank you.
Okay.
Very well done.
Thank you.
Again, I cannot reiterate enough that the role that Rob Tepper has played as our leader, and he puts in countless hours, as everybody knows. I'm not sure when he sleeps, but
Oh, yeah.
I can't say enough about, certainly for myself, the opportunity to join this team would not be, without Rob, but what he has done and the group that he's collected and his vision for what this can be is so exciting and so appreciated, and I can't say enough about it. So if I can give you a big kiss on your cheek, I'd do that right now.
Yeah, me too.
Well, thank you so much.
I will line
Wow.
up.
I feel the love. Thank you, guys. Well, I'm honored.
What if you, just a quick question. What if you unmute one by one, just in case someone doesn't know how to put a hand up but does have a question to ask?
I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, let's give
Should we
that a
go-
try.
We'll go down the list.
Yeah, just go down the list.
All right.
Guys, don't be shy, just say hi.
Why don't you mute yourself, Alina? I'm going to actually, I'll mute you again, and I'll just go down the list and unmute. I'll tell you that I'm unmuting you. Chetty, it shows that you're unattentive, but now you're back. Would you like to say something? Chetty. No, Chetty. Clinton. Clinton, you're on the air.
I'm good, brother. Thank you.
All right. Craig, would you like to chime in at all?
Hello.
Hi, Craig.
Yes, how you doing?
Excellent. How are you?
All right. A lot of information here. Want to see what it's about.
What do you think?
Well, I think there's a lot there. I thought it's pretty interesting that you had 3 levels of people in terms of the business, and someone wanting to be a business owner and someone wanting to go from employee to business, and also someone who's just interested in just being an employee. So I think that's very interesting in that it opens the door for a lot of people, and which I didn't see previously. So that's very encouraging.
Excellent. Thank you for being here, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
All right. How about Lynn, all the way over in France?
Oh, hello. I managed to get in, but very, very late. I'm afraid I can only hear. I can't see anything. But I found the small bit of the meeting extremely interesting. And thank you very much for letting me know.
Our pleasure. Thanks for being here, and we'll have the replay. I'm not sure if anybody started recording right at the beginning. I missed about the first 5 minutes, but we got all the important stuff captured, so we'll definitely make that available in the next few hours. Thanks for being here for the end of it. It's in the middle of the night there now, huh?
It's fairly late, but it's fine.
Oh, it's on. All right. Okay, let's see. We're going to move on to Mr. Michael McEntee. Would you like to say a word or two? You're on the air. From Florida, I believe. No words from Mr. McEntee?
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
Okay, is that on now?
You are.
Okay. Yeah, I was really impressed with everything you guys all covered. I'm learning something new every day in this thing, and I'm really excited about where this thing is going to go. And I got to commend Rob Tepper for the time he spent with me the other night on the Skype call with him. I have a lot of faith in what you guys are going to do as far as support. It's one of the biggest things that I've always struggled with in anything I've tried to do. And I don't see that problem with this organization. I appreciate all of you very much.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for being here, Michael. All right, Mr. Robinson. You're on the air.
Who? Me?
Peter, you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear that. You just cut out right before that. Yeah, just welcome to the new... Seriously, he just, okay now, and silence. Welcome to the new people, and nice presentation.
Come on, that's all you got to say?
That's I'm reserving. No, I don't really. I think it's interesting the way that it sets up. I think it's a great opportunity for a lot of people, and I think it'll prove to be very successful.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for being a part of it. Peter is an amazing copywriter, among other things, so we look forward to working together a lot more. Mr. Ackerman from Costa Rica, would you like to say a few words?
No, I'm good. No, thanks.
All right. Thanks for being here. And Mr. Gilligan.
Yes, how you doing? I thought it was a very interesting presentation. Give me a lot of background information that I had questions about that I hadn't really asked, but this presentation answered a lot of my questions. That was very good. Thank you very much for it.
Fantastic. Our pleasure.
And
all right.
Also, thank you for inviting me to it. I didn't even realize this was going on until I got an invitation late yesterday afternoon.
Well, I'm glad that we were able to get you to get the information to you in time. And yes, we will also have a replay available, as I mentioned, for people that want to hear it again or people that missed some of it. One last person to unmute is Deborah Robertson. Deborah, are you there?
All right. Am I here? Okay. Rob?
You are.
You can hear me okay. I just want to say thank you to both Robs. I think it's the Rob and Rob team, you know, and Elena for all of her work. She's awesome. I'm so appreciative to be in this group, and you're some amazing marketers, and just the think tank that has been put together with everyone here, and the beta testers that we have online. They're just amazing. So I know they're just going to be some. I know there are going to be some six-figure earners coming through here for those who want to be. So I'm excited. Thank you so much for putting this program together and allowing me to be a part of it.
Our pleasure. Thank you so much for being a part of it. And Charlie, you're self-muted. Would you like to say a word or two?
Are you kidding me? Have you ever known me not to say a word?
Exactly.
I just want to say, Rob and Rob, both of you guys did a great job. It just makes me proud to be a part of this organization. Elena, thank you so much. Deborah, all of your input has just been wonderful. I learned so much every time we go through one of these things. And one of the things I think it would be helpful for people to know is the backgrounds that we come from. Real quickly, I'm a retiree. And I've been going through things for 10 years, and this is the best program that I've seen for getting to where I want to be. And I'm speaking of the M.O.B.E program. Now, when you couple that with our program, I think it's just unstoppable, because this is the biggest complaint that I've heard from every single person that I've talked to, is that they don't have a support team out there to get them from point A to point B. And that's exactly what we're doing, and we're focused on support rather than making money off of bringing people in. That will be a secondary aspect of it, but the support aspect is absolutely number one, and I think we're top tier in that particular area. So thanks again to all of you guys. I think you just are doing a super job.
Well, thank you, Mr. Harmon. Thank you, everybody. Rob Harris, I will let you say the final words here.
Well, just to pick up where Charlie left off, the bios, and I know that some of you people have been, been asked to submit bios, but in the past, and maybe you have, maybe you haven't, but we are building out the website as we speak, and there will be an About Us section, and I intend to have an area within that section that has a list of all the coaches, their pictures, bios, what have you. I think it's critically important when beta testers, look at these ads and they see, global business and marketing solutions. They are likely to say, okay, well, is this a credible organization? Who are these guys? And they'll go to a website and they will see a very, very professional organization, and invariably they'll be going to the About Us to just learn about, who's part of it, and that's where we feature the strength of the organization, people that's going to help them get to where they ultimately want to get to. So I'm going to be asking all the coaches to submit to us beautiful pictures and, to the extent possible, a bio, some background, so people get some idea of the extent of the coaching team and the skill sets that they bring. Again, when Charlie says we have some skill and some talent and some people here, it really is. And when I see the resumes, and I've gotten resumes from many of you, the talent level is extraordinary. And, we want to bring that to the public eye and to see that this organization really has some punch behind them. And if you can get behind us, we will take you where you want to go. So think about that, and we'll be asking you for that information very soon. Other than that, Rob, I'm happy to hear that everybody had a positive experience. I know that we didn't get into a lot of depth that maybe some of us want to get to, but obviously we're here, and you could always follow up with your coach, and they in turn could follow up with us if it's necessary. But especially for those people who are new to the program and coaches, maybe in training, please feel free to contact your coach and to, dig into some of these areas that maybe, need some follow-up.
And I know Clinton mentioned in the questions box about having a frequently asked questions on the website. Great idea. We will have that. And things that are frequent questions that are, more than just a paragraph answer, anything that would make sense for us to train or to get the right person to train all of us on, that is where we're going to add value, and we'll do all of that together with the Brain Trust community and for people that are in the beta testing program, the Supercharge affiliate community. So we've got these two places to really share all of our knowledge with each other and to announce the webinars, and you'll be seeing an announcement very soon for our regular series of webinars that we've been planning to announce. Just have to get some more input on it, but hopefully we'll be starting that by next week. And yeah, we'll be there for you as you have questions, and look forward to working with all of you for a long time to come. Thanks again for being here. And with that, I think we're going to sign off. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye-bye.